Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us this evening. My name is Jeff. I will be the facilitator this evening on behalf of StrivesCan and our institution. Certainly want to welcome each of you. Thank you for giving us a few minutes of your evening tonight. Tonight we have 6 institutions presenting. In their order, we have Colgate University, Dickinson College, Penn State University, SUNY Cortland, Temple University, and the University of Pittsburgh. As a reminder to all of our attendees, your cameras are off and your microphones are muted, but you can ask questions through the Q&A box at any time throughout the presentation. You do not have to wait for the specific institution to begin if you want to ask them a question ahead of time. If they don't get your questions answered before the end, that's okay. They will get a transcript of this presentation and can follow up with you afterwards. So without further ado, I will turn it over to Colgate University.
Great, thanks, Jeff. Hi, everyone. My name is Erin Millen. I'm an Associate Dean of Admission here at Colgate. I work with students, schools, and families here in Central New York, where Colgate is located, as well as Texas. So I'm really excited to be here. We have one of our senior interns. She's actually been a dedicated part of our admission team, and she's a current student at Colgate with us, and that's Grace. So Grace, do you want to go ahead and say hello?
Hi, everyone. My name's Grace. I'm a senior at Colgate, and I'm from St. Louis, Missouri, majoring in econ and art history here.
Terrific. Thanks, Grace. Okay, we're going to go ahead and give a quick overview of Colgate here. And again, just like Jeff was saying, please go ahead and share your questions in the Q&A. If we don't get to your question, and we probably, we might not, especially if there are a lot of questions, please reach out to us anytime after tonight's session, and we would be glad to follow up with you. All right, so Colgate, we are, like the slide says, represents the best of a research university and a liberal arts college all in one. We have about 3,000 students, undergraduate students, 56 different majors, 200 different clubs and organizations, Division I athletics. Those are really important parts of who we are. Students come to Colgate, they work really hard, they study really hard, they're very excited about what they're studying, and they're also very involved in terms of the campus community. And so they might do something that they did in high school, they might find a new interest, but Colgate students are just very active and very engaged, not just in the academics, but also campus life and creating the campus community. Grace is going to speak a little bit about academics. Go ahead, Grace.
Yeah, so we do have really great academics here at Colgate, and we have very amazing professors who are really experts in all of their fields. We have small class sizes, a 9-to-1 student to faculty ratio, and an average class size of 17. Personally, my classes tend to be around 15 students, but I have had some with, like 25. So it's really a mix up, but they definitely are small, and professors are always very accessible. They really want to get to know you one-on-one. They invite you to their homes for dinner, and they invite you to come to their office hours, weekly to ask homework questions and just get a chance to talk. So it's definitely a very special connection that students have here with professors.
In terms of your community at Colgate, the community is definitely your home for 4 years. We're residential, so students come to Colgate because they want that sense of campus. They want that experience of living on a college campus all 4 years. But a big part of their community is actually our alumni. I think there's just something really special about learning and living here together for 4 years, and that community stays with you. You're a part of that community after graduation. So there's a lot of spirit, a lot of loyalty. This is a place where there's a lot of sort of genuine care and concern for one another, whether that's current students or alumni who serve as really important members of the community. So again, it's a very strong community with a lot of spirit.
We also do a lot outside of the classroom. Colgate students are typically very involved in a lot of different facets of campus. We do have Division I athletics. Our women's ice hockey team just won the ECAC conference yesterday, which is really great. And so it's exciting to get to be a part of that. And also, myself as a non-athlete, I get to be involved in a lot of different organizations on campus, whether that be volunteering to file income taxes for low-income families in the area, or raise money for a different charity every year, or just join the club sailing team like I have. There's just a lot to get involved with outside of the classroom.
In terms of preparing for life after graduation, we really encourage students to start thinking about that really from day one, to really reflect on what they're studying, think about what they're good at, think about what they might want to explore. You actually don't have to declare a major until the end of your sophomore year. So those first 2 years, you're working to confirm what your major will be. But you might also take advantage of some pre-professional opportunities, whether that's through internships or a day in a life program where you can shadow an alum, just to kind of get a sense of the different industries they're in. We're really true to liberal arts, and we're really true to Division I in terms of the caliber of opportunity that we can offer that really positions students for success after their 4 years. If you're interested in the sciences, we have a great program at the National Institutes of Health in Bethesda, Maryland. That's unique to Colgate. It's research-based. We have finance is a huge industry that our graduates go into. And recently, through the generosity of an alum, we've secured a $25 million gift to support a middle campus focused on arts, innovation, and creativity. So really true to liberal arts when you think about that list, you know, research at the NIH, the financial industries, the connections that we have to those, and then as well as arts and entrepreneurship. So it's very diverse. There's really quite a range.
We definitely have like the best town ever. We are in rural upstate New York, but we're kind of in the middle of nowhere, but it's this beautiful, like traditional collegiate town. And we have such a fluid boundary between the campus of Colgate and the downtown of Hamilton. Here you see a picture of like the farmer's market that happens every Saturday when the weather's nice, and that's such a good time. You go out and you see students there, but you also see your professors and just members of the town. And it's definitely such a great community with restaurants and a cute old movie theater. And it's a really fun place to spend 4 years.
So Grace and I really like talking about Colgate, and we're going to wrap it up here. And again, we welcome your questions, but just some important deadlines to be aware of are here on the screen. Early decision is November 15th. Early decision 2 and regular decision are January 15th. And we are test optional for this upcoming year, but also the next 2 years as well. So that's something that is really important to know in terms of our process. But we look forward to your questions this evening, and thanks for listening to us.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks so much, Colgate. Next up, we have, Dickinson College.
Yes, thank you so much. Hi, everyone. My name is Rebecca Chernia. I'm an Associate Director of Admissions at Dickinson College. Dickinson is a small liberal arts college located in central Pennsylvania, specifically Carlisle, Pennsylvania. So for my presentations, I always like to go big picture and work my way small. So we'll start with where we're situated. Carlisle is just about 30 minutes outside of Harrisburg, which is the capital of Pennsylvania. And to situate yourself within other cities on the East Coast, we're about 2 hours away from DC, 2 hours away from Philly, and a little over 3 hours away from New York City. So despite being in central Pennsylvania, we do have great access to a lot of those major metropolitan areas on the East Coast. Carlisle itself is a small but vibrant town. It's home to about 20,000 people. The reference that I always make, and I know it's super dated and I need to come up with another one, but is that I think Carlisle looks an awful lot like Stars Hollow from the show Gilmore Girls. So if you get that reference, you are my kind of people. But it is a very cute town, and the college is situated right in the heart of that downtown. So not only do our students have access to everything happening on campus, they have access to the things happening in the town as well. I am personally a big foodie. I think one of the best ways to explore any town or city is through its food. And Carlisle actually has a very diverse culinary scene. So I think one of my colleagues counted, it's over 30 different locally owned restaurants within walking distance of campus. So you will certainly be eating very well during your time at Dickinson. Dickinson, to touch on its history now, so I guess we're going even back further than just location, is we are the first college created in the newly formed United States. So we were chartered in 1783, so quite a long time ago. We were founded by Benjamin Rush, who was actually a very interesting person. If you need to fall down a Wikipedia rabbit hole, I highly recommend checking him out. He was involved in the abolitionist movement. He was a physician in Philadelphia and actually George Washington's personal physician. He's a signer on the Declaration of Independence and very supportive of women's rights. A lot of the things that he believed that higher education should be and the purpose that education should serve in society we very much hold on to today. So I think a really important thing to know about Dickinson is essentially what is our 4 pillars. So for us, we thought really critically about what do we want a student to take away from their time at Dickinson. So for us, no matter what a student is studying, we want them to leave being sustainable, global, future-focused, and engaged. To talk a little bit about those academics, as a liberal arts college, our programs are very much in the liberal arts vein. We have about 45 different majors and assorted other minors as well. In terms of what we see in the educational experience is we greatly value exploration. So about a quarter of our students will double major, an additional third will declare a minor. So for us, we really like to see that our students are taking advantage of the diverse course offerings that the school has and combining programs in unique and interesting ways. We think that's really exciting. In terms of our student body population, we have about 2,300 students. And so these numbers give you a very personalized college experience, which you can see from the box in the upper left-hand corner. Average class size for us is around 14 students, and then the student to faculty ratio is 8:1. So all of our classes, no matter what you're studying, they are very collaborative, they are hands-on. If you like building relationships with your teachers, those are all very common things to see at Dickinson. And then there's 2 big things on the slide, especially related to those 4 pillars that I just mentioned, related to study abroad. So study abroad is very big for us, but even more than just study abroad is our focus on being global. And global means a few different things. You're going to see it in the diversity of courses that you have access to. You're going to see it in our foreign language requirement. This is actually a little bit different. So we do take it quite seriously that we are educating global citizens. In order for that to happen, you do need to understand and speak more than just English. So we expect all of our students, no matter what they're studying, to get to at least the intermediate level of a secondary language. If you want to study something with international in the title, like international business and management, you're going to go even higher than that. We do have 13 different languages to choose from, so there really is something for everybody. Some students will stick with what they studied in high school. They like the language, they feel comfortable with it. That is fantastic. Other students are like, I am so over high school French, I want to try my hand at Portuguese. And that is great too. We have no preference on how you satisfy that requirement. And then of course, when it comes to global, it's back to those study abroad programs. So 65% of our students do study abroad. And we also have really great percentages of our science majors and student athletes studying abroad. So the science major population has actually gone up. So instead of 46%, it's now 57%. And then student athletes studied abroad at about the same rate as the regular student population. Dickinson runs 18 of its own programs all around the world, but we do want our students to have more than just 18 choices to choose from. So we are partnered with other organizations to provide fully accredited, transferable study abroad programs. So once you start factoring in all of those, students have over 50 choices. The majority of our programs do focus on being, are at least a semester long, depending on what you're studying and where you're going. You can stay abroad for up until a year as well. And then I would say we do have about a handful of short-term attachment programs as well that happen over the summer. So a great way to get that taste of study abroad without that full semester commitment. And then tying it back to that foreign language piece, about 40% of our students do study abroad in a program with a language prereq. So we certainly have plenty of programs that don't require any level of foreign language, or you don't need to know the language to study abroad in that country. But a good number of our students do take advantage of that, which I think is really cool. And then the other thing that I wanted to touch on is sustainability. Dickinson is an incredibly green school, as evidenced by these boxes down here towards the bottom. So if you're looking at any sort of green list of colleges, we're going to appear on that list. And we're super excited that we are the first one of the first carbon neutral colleges in the country. So that happened in 2020, and we are very excited about that. You can talk about Dickinson forever, so I am looking forward to answering your questions in the chat.
Thanks, Rebecca. Appreciate that. And as a reminder, yes, you can ask questions, students and attendees, through the chat board. Feel free to do that at any point along the presentation line here. Next up, Penn State University.
Hi, guys. My name is Felicia Weidman, and I am the Penn State admissions representative for the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And I have Bradley Simcoe with me as well. He's from our Berks campus, and he's going to be helping answer questions today. So if you give me just a second to share my screen, we're going to get started with the Penn State presentation. So Penn State is part of the Big Ten Sports Education and Research Cooperative. In sports, we host 29 different Division I sports and an amazing marching blue band that we're so proud of. Penn State is unique in that we are one university with 20 different physical locations. Our flagship campus is at University Park in Happy Valley in the beautiful Appalachian Mountains. We have more than 40,000 undergraduates there, and our other 19 campuses are spread throughout the state. All of them offer four-year degrees, and all of them are Penn State, not Penn State dash anything. This unique setup allows us to offer our 2+2 program, where you can spend 2 years at a smaller, less competitive, less expensive campus and the last 2 years at University Park. So you have many choices structuring your experience. We accept about 8,000 freshmen at University Park, where you can spend all 4 years. Or we accept about 8,000 freshmen combined in all of our other campuses. About 2/3 of them will choose to be on the 2+2 plan and end up at University Park their junior and senior year. Or you can stay all 4 years at the smaller campus locations if your degree is offered there. Our campus information is on our website, and Bradley's here today to talk about Berks in particular as well. Throughout the Penn State system, we offer over 275 different academic programs. I'd like to highlight just a few of them that are popular with Texas students, since I don't have time for all 275. In arts and architecture, we have a top-ranked musical theater program, and our architecture program offers a 5-year March degree plan. The Smeal College of Business is top-ranked among job recruiters, according to Business Week magazine. The Belisario College of Communications has all new buildings and state-of-the-art equipment. Students are bused into New York City 2 times per year to interview with top media companies in a unique on-site college fair hosted by the college. They also go to Washington, D.C. We have 18 engineering programs across earth and mineral sciences and engineering. 1 out of 50 engineers in the United States is a Penn State engineer. I'm one of them. Aviation Week has named us a preferred provider for mechanical and aerospace engineers. Also, the College of Earth and Mineral Sciences has a top-rated meteorology program. Nursing is a direct admit program at 7 different campuses, including University Park. Eberly College of Science is one of our most popular academic colleges for Texas students, in addition to our pre-med and accelerated pre-med programs that some of you will have questions about. Students love our forensic science as well as many of our top-ranked physical sciences. As a top-ranked research university in the country, you will have the opportunity to participate in research as an undergraduate should you choose. Finally, all of our academic and physical location colleges provide the opportunity to be part of the Schreier Honors College, which offers many benefits, including a $5,000 scholarship each year. Penn State encourages study abroad. We share more than 300 study abroad programs with the Big Ten. Best of all, we offer in-state tuition for out-of-state students for the broad semester. There's so much to do at a large university. We offer over 1,200 plus clubs, including academic interest, philanthropic, ethnic, religious, Greek life, sports clubs, and intramurals. Thon, our dance marathon, is the largest student-run philanthropy in the world, raising over $10 million for pediatric cancer patients and research. Some final stats worth mentioning. Penn State is a top, Penn State is a top 1% university in the world, according to Center for World University Rankings. A recent LinkedIn analysis of the backgrounds of CEOs yielded Penn State as number 2 for graduates who eventually become CEOs. And finally, our alumni. We have the largest living alumni association in the world, nearly 750,000. Everywhere I go and wear my gear, recently in London, someone will yell, "We are," and the other will reply, "Penn State." You can get more information on admissions at admissions.psu.edu. Our application opens on August 1st, and we are test optional until 2023, except for our accelerated pre-med medical program. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks so much, Felicia. Appreciate that. Next up, we have SUNY Cortland.
Hi, everyone. My name is Alyssa. I am a senior admissions advisor here at SUNY Cortland. I'm also our out-of-state recruiter for Texas and for a few other states. So if you have any questions, I'll be the representative to help you with that. But SUNY Cortland, so SUNY is a state university of New York. We are the largest university system in the nation. We have 64 campuses, all in the state of New York. So SUNY Cortland is a small to medium-sized school. We have about 7,000 students on campus. Each fall, we bring in about 1,200 freshman students and 600 transfers. We do get about 15,000 freshman applications each and every year. Our average class size is 23, and then our student to faculty ratio is going to be closer to 16:1. And there's always a professor to help you. They have office hours, they have research opportunities, internships, and all of our classes are taught by professors with the help of a student, a teacher's a TA, a teacher's assistant, who has taken the class and succeeded in that. As far as location, we're right in the center of New York, not too far from Hamilton, who we heard from earlier. We're about 45 minutes from Syracuse, or about 45 minutes from Binghamton, and then about 20 minutes from the Finger Lakes region. So there's a lot of different colleges in this area. So there's always a lot of events for college-age students and a lot of college kind of things happening in this area. We were ranked the #1 safest campus in the state of New York, which is pretty cool. We have our own university police department, and we have the blue light system, so the police are only just a touch away on all of our light posts, and you'll see 3 blue light system within anywhere on campus, so you're always pretty safe. We do have students from 34 states and 47 countries on campus, so there's always someone new to meet. As far as what we're looking for our freshman class, we require 4 years of English and history, and then 3 years of math and science. And for our out-of-state students, 2 years of foreign language, or whatever your high school requires for your graduation. Then our average GPA for our students coming in is between an 86 and a 92, so really a solid B student. We are test optional for this coming year, and we hope to hear from SUNY administration soon to be continuing in that test optional application process. As far as the expense, the important thing on this slide to note is the Future New Yorker Award. All of our out-of-state students will receive this award automatically. It is $7,500 per year. Then in your junior and senior year, if you remain living on campus, you receive an extra $2,000, which is a pretty good chunk of change to get for free, which brings down the in-state and out-of-state tuition to about the same. As far as majors on campus, we are a liberal arts school, so we have a ton of different majors. You'll see we have a lot of teacher certification programs. We were started as a women's only teacher college and have really grown since that. Some of our most popular are the sciences. We have a pre-med, pre-vet, pre-law, pre-PT, a lot of different programs. So a lot of our students are in one of the sciences. Sports management, speech and hearing science, and then all of our ology, so psychology, sociology, and all of things of that nature. So there's always an opportunity to take classes, not just in your major, but in any of these majors or minors. You can mix any 2 things, or even 3 or 4, as many as you'd like. It's kind of, you can build your own major in a sense. We also have a ton of hands-on experience. We partner with ABC Network, the NFL, a lot of different businesses in New York City, as well as Washington, D.C., and any big city. We have alumni basically everywhere. And so we always want our current students to intern with our alumni or anywhere that they choose. And these are just some of the businesses that often offer our students internships or jobs after graduation, which is pretty cool. We have over 80 clubs on campus. We are D3. We also have club sports, intramural. All of our majors and minors have a club associated with them. We have different dance. We have a student-run newspaper, magazine, podcast, radio show, basically anything you can imagine. It only takes 3 students and a faculty member to create a new club on campus. So there are always new clubs coming and going. If there's not something that we have that you want, you can certainly create that for you and for the future of SUNY Cortland. Again, we are a D3 school, so we have 25 varsity teams, and we have 131 national championships under our belt and continue to grow that number each and every year. That top picture is Cortica, our rival football game, Cortland versus Ithaca College, and we started playing that last year at MetLife Stadium, so all of our football players as well as the fans get to experience a collegiate game and an NFL field, which is pretty cool. The Student Life Center is the pride and joy of SUNY Cortland campus. This was a multi-million-dollar project that came to campus not too long ago. All things fitness. We have a lap pool, a golf simulator, rock wall. We have indoor track, cycling room, CrossFit gym, weights, cardio, anything you can imagine, as well as our newest dining hall. Something I like to mention, because I mentioned so many athletic things, I also like to mention that our dining hall has a cookie warmer. So not only can you leave this facility full, you can leave with a warm chocolate chip cookie in your hand, which I think makes this whole thing worth it. And that's really all I have for you today. If you have any questions, please reach out to me in the chat, or you can email me, and my cell phone is there as well if you have any questions. But thank you for having me.
Thanks so much, Alicia. Appreciate that. Again, students, feel free to ask questions at any time to any of the institutions. Next up, we have Temple University.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mario Root. I am the Texas Regional Recruiter for Temple University, and I'm based in the Dallas, Texas area. In addition to working for Temple, I'm a Temple dad. And so my son, who you see here in this slide, is currently a junior. And he's a sports management major. He likes to tell people I followed him to college. But I love to point out that I'm a Temple dad because I had a front row seat to him finding Texas and ultimately finding Temple and ultimately deciding that it was a school for him. Temple is in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and the picture you see here is from our campus looking south towards Center City. And in Philadelphia, we don't call it downtown like in many cities. We call it Center City. It's just one of those quirks in terminology, and you'll learn a lot of different terminology if you come to Philadelphia. But we're very much a city school, yet we have a well-defined campus. And when you visit campus, one of the many things you'll notice are the multitude of food trucks. And our students love them. We have food trucks for just about anything you want to eat. We also have a couple of subway stops on campus, so you can get from Temple to Center City in about 6 to 8 minutes. The idea of riding a subway may seem intimidating, but Philadelphia is really easy to navigate. We're located on Broad Street, which is the main north-south artery of the city. Temple was founded in 1884 in the basement of the Baptist Temple. Dr. Russell Conwell was a noted preacher, and the story goes that one of the members of his church came up to him one day and asked to be tutored. And the man said, I want to further my education, but I have to work during the day. Dr. Conwell invited him back in the evening, and the man returned with some friends. And those initial students were affectionately dubbed the night owls by people in the community. And that name stuck, and we adopted the owl as our mascot. Currently, we're about 27,000 undergraduate students. We offer over 150 majors. And while we consider ourselves to be a large institution, we promote an environment where students feel connected to the community. We have a 13-to-1 student to faculty ratio, and 91% of our classes have fewer than 50 students. Some noted programs, we have a direct admit nursing program. We have a health scholars program that can provide provisional acceptance to our medical school. We have a field program where students have the option of spending a year in Los Angeles and working in a movie studio. And we also have a top sports management program, which actually requires a couple of internships as part of the graduation requirement. We had a student in the NBA bubble last year, and we also had a student who worked the Cotton Bowl as well as the Rose Bowl bubbles. A fun fact about Temple, it's home to the first PhD program in African American Studies. And in addition to all of these great programs we offer, we are also very, very welcoming to undecided students. And so at Temple, we are committed to our students graduating 4 years. It's something that's really important. So we created something called the Fly in 4 program. It's voluntary, but if students complete 30 credit hours per year and meet with an advisor at least once per semester, Temple agrees to make an advisor available and to make the classes available. Now, if a student doesn't graduate in 4 years because they couldn't take a class, because we didn't offer it, those additional class or classes will be at no charge to the student. Experiential education is also strongly promoted, and we view the city of Philadelphia as our second classroom. There are close to 150,000 graduates in the Philadelphia area, and our students really do leverage those connections to land jobs and internships. In addition, we're less than 150 miles from New York, Baltimore, and Washington, D.C., and it's not uncommon for our students to explore those cities. For students who are interested in traveling abroad, we have a campus in Rome, and we have our Temple University Japan campus. Our Japan campus is unique in that it is degree granting. Our Rome campus, we offer a first-year program where students spend their first year of college in Rome and then transition to the main campus. The Japan and Rome campuses can be utilized as traditional study abroad locations as well. If you aren't interested in Rome or Japan, we have opportunities worldwide, and an advisor in the study abroad office can assist in finding an opportunity that makes sense for you. At Temple, we utilize a 3-in-1 admission application. So when you apply, we're going to consider you. One is going to be admission, 2 will be our honors program, and 3 merit scholarships. We are also in the midst of our 6th year as being test optional, and we're a true test optional institution, meaning students who elect to apply without test scores are considered for all of the same things as those who do submit test scores. So that includes merit scholarships and the honors program. We don't have any academic programs that do require test scores. So if you're interested in architecture, if you're interested in engineering, you can apply for any academic program without test scores. We're also Common App exclusive. Our early action deadline is November 1st. It's non-binding, and our regular decision deadline is February 1st. When you apply to Temple, you will not have to submit a transcript. We are a self-report institution, and so you will log in to our TU portal, and you will enter all of your grades in that system, and that is what we will utilize as part of the application to make decisions. I do look forward to working with you all. Please take a picture of this screen so that you'll be sure to have my contact information, and do not hesitate to reach out. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Mario. Finally, this evening, we have the University of Pittsburgh.
Good deal. You made it to Pitt. Thank you for holding on. I like to think that you've waited for the best for last. My name is Tom Becker. I'm the Associate Director for Regional Recruitment for the University of Pittsburgh. We have basically 8 staff members that are strategically placed throughout the United States, and I just happen to be in the DFW area. So the Texans, I serve the entire state of Texas, and I'm your contact. The first picture here is of the Cathedral of Learning, the tallest building of higher education in the Western Hemisphere. All of you will have classes in this facility. It is near and dear to our hearts. You'll see a couple of people here. The bottom picture is Jonas Salk, the discoverer of the polio vaccine. We were very, very active with the vaccines for the coronavirus. The gentleman up above, 2 years ago, he was a CNN hero, one of the finalists. He started an undergraduate project in Sri Lanka, and then our Nobel Peace Prize winner from Africa. Pitt is a system. And we have 3 regional campuses as well. So I know we're here to talk about the Pitt campus, but when you apply, you will rank your schools that you're interested in. The regional campuses are much more liberal arts in nature, smaller, maybe 2,000 students, while Pitt is very different. Pitt is a city campus. You have to want that sort of city feel. The city of Pittsburgh has the amenities of a DC, a New York, a Boston, a Chicago, but we don't have the population density. So you can actually participate in the professional sports teams and go to the arts in the theater. I can throw a rock and hit the Carnegie Art Museum, the Natural History Museum. We have amazing internships because we're steel and we still build things, but we also now talk about eds, meds, and technology. That's what we're about, education, medicine, and technology. This is a picture of our campus, and you can see in the distance downtown Pittsburgh. So you have to want this urban-esque sort of feel, but we're not downtown. We're 3 miles from downtown. And that's sort of what we give you. 19,000 undergraduate students named the #1 public university in the Northeast again. You can see the majors that many Texans are most interested in coming to the University of Pittsburgh. When you apply, you're going to select what school you're interested in, okay? We have 5 direct entry schools: arts and sciences, business, engineering, computing and information, and nursing. Next year, we are going to have a 6th, and I cannot announce that yet because it has not been approved by the Board of Trustees, but know that when you apply in August, you're going to see another one. So you do go into the school, but know that there is some flexibility of moving around. The only exception of that is nursing, because it is a direct entry program. You start doing your simulation labs as a freshman. Second year, you're doing your clinical rotations. You're going to have almost double the clinical rotations of most nursing programs. It's truly, truly amazing. We have an honors college at Pitt that folds on top of your major. We are a very inclusive university, and the honors college is like that. They believe that all students should be able to participate and take place and be involved in the vast, vast majority of their activities and their resources. The only advantage of being in the freshman cohort is that you can take unlimited freshman honors classes and you can live in specialty housing for honors students if you want, not required. We're fortunate to have some highly, highly ranked graduate programs. And when you apply for admissions, if you're offered admission, you can also tell us you're interested in one of these guaranteed admissions programs to graduate school. So there's a higher threshold there, but if you get one of these, you can put that in your back pocket, and if it hits your place and you continue to do well, you're automatically admitted. So if you're a dentist, you don't have to take the dental exam. If you're in medicine, you don't have to take the MCAT. Pretty neat stuff. We have we're part of the ACC, we're part of the over 400 clubs and organizations. We send in a normal year over 2,000 people abroad, open up a map of the world, throw a dart. If it does not hit water, we're probably sending you there. We guarantee all of our undergraduate students an internship program. If you take the internship preparation classes, no out-of-pocket expense to you. It's truly, truly the real deal. Our students are highly, highly active outside the classroom. This is our application process. It will open up in August. We're on 3 application platforms. There's an application fee. Know that we are test optional for the next 2 cycles in all programs, all academic areas, scholarships, and guarantees. This is our deadlines. If you want to be considered for scholarships, you need to have your application materials submitted in our office by December 15th. The Honors College, Pitt Honors deadline, and medical school deadline. And this is me. Again, I have ripped through this. Please take a picture of me and my email and the address, the telephone number there. And I would love to work with you individually to see if Pitt is your fit. And with that, I succeed. I hope I have put my time in for you all. So.
Thanks, Tom. Appreciate that very much. So if everybody wants to come back on screen for the attendees, I thought I would ask one question of all the reps this evening. And the question is, what is your favorite event or tradition on campus? And why don't we let Erin start? We'll go as we presented this evening. So Colgate, what do you think about that?
Sure, I'm actually going to let Grace answer this question. Grace, what would you say?
Thanks, Erin. I think the number 13 is my favorite tradition at Colgate. Legend has it that we were founded by 13 men with $13 and 13 prayers. So the number 13 is like our lucky number. Every Friday the 13th is Colgate Day, which means like students and alumni wear all their Colgate gear and really celebrate Colgate. And the number 13 pops up a ton of different ways on campus. Our address is 13 Oak Drive. So that one's super fun.
Very fun, very fun. So next, Dickinson College.
Yeah, so I love this question and I struggle with it at the same time. So I have to kind of cheat and give 2, a serious one and a fun one. So the serious one is convocation, which is a ceremony for first-year students where they sign into the book of the college. So it's really cool for many of our students to add their name to the legacy of the institution. And then it comes full circle at graduation when they sign out of the book. So really cool experience. And then the fun tradition is absolutely Calfsgiving, when the dining hall goes all out for a big Thanksgiving feast. Truly, I think every student on campus will attend that. And it's a really exciting, fun time.
Very fun. Felicia, what would you say about Penn State University?
So I also had trouble picking between two of my favorites, so I'm just going to go with it. Obviously, Thon, I mentioned that. That's our big dance marathon that we have every year. We raise over $10 million every year for the Five Diamonds Foundation, and that's for pediatric cancer. And so that's really, really awesome. The whole university gets involved in that. Alumni get involved in that, everything. And then also just our chant, we are Penn State. I mean, the stadium just shakes when we do it. The Bryce Jordan Center shakes when we do it. And, you know, when you're walking down the road anywhere, like I said, even in London, you know, people are like, we are, and you answer back Penn State. It's just awesome.
Very fun, very fun. Alicia, what would you say about SUNY Cortland?
I think one of my favorite traditions is our senior send-off. So at the very end of your time at Cortland, you get to go to a picnic with our alumni association, our college president, his whole family, and you just get to enjoy the night being an alumni and learning about, you know, new jobs that are coming up or internships. And everyone will get their SUNY Cortland alumni sticker. It's just a fun way to celebrate with all your classmates and the president of the college as you go towards graduation.
Very fun, very fun. Mario, tell us a little bit about Temple in that regard.
I think the thing that the students really love, and this is really in the spring when we start to warm up a little bit, if you look over my shoulder, you'll see this bell tower. And so it's really a gathering place for students really year round. But there's some grass area around there that we call Berry Beach, and students will lay out, and there's no water or anything like that, but they call it the beach. And it's an area where students really like to gather and hang out and have a good time. So I think that's something that all Temple students do.
Very fun. And Tom, wrap us up with a thought about the University of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it's the technology training that we all get. So I think my PowerPoint wasn't working in this, so I apologize for that. My attempt at humor, I'll get it better next time. But my favorite tradition, actually I can't participate in it, but I was able to participate in it with my daughter, is Lantern Night, where it is one of the longest storied traditions that we have. We were founded in 1787, so the Constitution's been signed. We're educating people. And alumni, female alumni, come back, alumna, to the university, and all of our freshman women get a lantern. And they go from the Cathedral of Learning to Hines Chapel. The Hines family have a non-denominational chapel, has the tallest stained glass windows in the world, or some of the tallest stained glass windows in the world. And the alumni light the females lantern in the passing of knowledge, the passing of opportunity to get your education from a premier university. So that is, it just gives me goosebumps thinking about it. My daughters, if you talk to a Pitt grad, ask them if they have their lantern, female, and they probably will. It's pretty neat stuff.
Very fun. Well, thank you to each of the institutions for joining us this evening. Certainly thank you to the attendees for participating. Again, feel free to reach out to the universities and colleges after we're done here. Feel free to look at the StriveScan event schedule for other universities or colleges you might want to participate or learn about. And then there will be a quick survey afterwards. Would appreciate you taking that and giving us some feedback. On behalf of StriveScan and the 6 institutions, my name is Jeff. Have a great night. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.